forces are determined to take this country backwards.
You know what it is? Sweet Zeus.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Southern Delight. Let's go.
But do they really know? It's beyond their abilities. Really know?
We are back on the main.
We know they really know. It's all a front for sure. They do it all for sure. They set the world on fire. They let it burn slow. I was just cruising the streets. I was looking for something to eat.
Yes, and
get me some sleep. I'm trying to make it for me. My family struggling for peace. My
good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Eating they sleep. My family eating. My family. It's a business in the announcement. They say they care, but they really. And then you get money coming in different ways.
Let's go, yes.
Don't say you helping these kids and then you close the door. You ain't no better than politicians, you hypocrites. Use your power to make a change and make a difference. All this talking you're saying, it ain't saying much. They say they care, but do they really know? It's beyond their ability. Is it really though?
Tiffany, good morning.
We know they really don't. It's all the front for sure. They do it all for sure.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
They set the world on fire. They let it burn slow.
Hey, yes, we're back on the
They
main.
let it burn slow. They set the world on fire. They let it burn slow. Left arm in, you
Miss Morningstar, let's go.
right hand in and then you shake it all down.
That's what it's all about. Hey, let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Sat on the wall.
Hey.
Humpty Dumpty, he had a great fall.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't be so basic and practice on your greatness.
Right.
Life don't work like that. Gotta be
Good morning,
amazing.
ladies and
I've been
gentlemen.
down
How
and
we
out.
doing?
I know what it takes to be on top right now. I know I'm your favorite.
Hey. Look at this show started, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we came to do. Let's go. Let's go. Where are we at, ladies and gentlemen? All right, it's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. You know, good morning, and good morning, Politics, YG, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are now back in the thick of it. All right, good morning, Jess. We're gonna have to try to keep it clean.
And I can't escape it.
Right.
It's like deja vu. It's me, it's Zeus. It's deja vu when I'm running up these
Right.
raps.
I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like
Good morning,
I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game.
Yeah.
Look at what I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made
Yes.
it. This is how I'm making you famous. The algorithm turned to a maniac.
Right.
I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac.
Let's go.
I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
Benjamin Franklin is my bestie.
They use my ex, that mean they left me.
Woo.
They don't give me props,
Let's
they
go.
test me.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it. Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Call me the master.
You know I am. Here it goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
Should have getting a drug test taken.
It was horrible. I'm like, you've gone.
Zeus has gone way off the rails. Cut it out. Seriously. No one thinks I'm off the rails, right? Yvonne? Alright. Let's go ahead and kill the music, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's go ahead and kill the music, DJ. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. We're back on the main account. Don't you feel the difference? I mean, wow. Doesn't it feel good to be home? Ladies and gentlemen, but you know what? The Mr. Crossing account, it does serve its purpose. All right. So thank you for all of you who have been rocking out with me while we've been a bit on the underground side of this. All right. Now let's get started, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't got much time. All right. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H stands for honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me, all right? The second H, thank you, Maureen, is because I am humble. There's nobody, join my team. Wow, that's pretty awesome. There's nobody more humble than me on social media. Listen, I promise you, if I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. The thing is, though, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't been wrong lately. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Just because your feelings are hurt, that does not mean I owe you an apology, all right? And the last and final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain what? The most handsome. Many of you are familiar with what we do over here on this side of town, on this side of TikTok, right, Southern Lib? What we do is special. We hold our friends on the right, especially their leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes. And believe you me, when it comes to dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, Donald Trump, all the way down to the January 6th insurrectionists, there's a lot of dirty deeds and crimes going on, all right? And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I must say this to you seditionists, treasonous traitors out there. If you are uncomfortable with the truth, or as my good friend, Brother Swervin likes to say, right, you're lactose intolerant, you might want to leave this live and go on about your miserable lives and, go hang out with those fake TikTok lawyers, those fake TikTok hosts that are doing nothing on this app besides spreading lies and misinformation, all right, on behalf of the Kremlin. They do it on behalf of Russia, all right? Don't come over here to my live thinking you're going to change a single thing, because you're not, all right? If you're hungry, after you listen to this show, you're not going to be so hungry. If you were happy after listening to this show, you know what? You just might not be as hungry, all right? And that's just how it is, ladies and gentlemen. So I got a bit of a heads up. Again, Trump supporters especially, if you don't want me to ruin your day, leave this live right now. Just leave. But I know you don't want to listen to me, so this is why I say this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Right.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply,
Good morning.
you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, you know what we came to do. Normally I have a speech, but, we got a lot of things to dive into this bright and early, ladies and gentlemen. And so let's just start here. Brian Butler yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, did an exclusive interview with CNN, right? And if you aren't familiar with who Brian Butler is, ladies and gentlemen, he is Trump employee number five, referenced in the classified documents case. All right, that Jack Smith brought against the former president out there in Mar-a-Lago, right? And yesterday, I watched the interview that he had on CNN with Caitlin Collins. I watched it a couple of times, all right? And one thing was crystal clear, right? This was not a witch hunt. This was not a witch hunt. What Donald Trump did with those classified documents was not a witch hunt. So when anyone repeats that line, I want you to know they're lying to you. This gentleman right here, ladies and gentlemen, he spilled the beans on what exactly occurred on or around middle of 2022 and how he was duped by the former president and his cronies, Walt Nauta, to be moving classified documents. When they try to compare President Biden's situation to Donald Trump's, this is the part they like to leave out. All right. So let's start off with a bit of an update on what this situation unfolded with. All right. Brian Butler, a former Mar-a-Lago worker referenced as Trump employee number 5 in the classified document indictment of Donald Trump, he spoke yesterday about what he saw the former president's private club and subsequent fallout after a search by the FBI. Butler's interview with Caitlin Collins provides new details on how he unwittingly helped move classified documents onto Donald Trump's private airplane. And on the pressure campaign that followed, as he and others were offered Trump-aligned lawyers, Butler said he was helping to move the boxes to the airport at the same time that Trump was greeting the FBI. Talk about crime. Snuggles! J-Bear! This is the real problem right here. The FBI is coming in, all right, to do their job, and he's hiding the documents, making this guy and Walt Nauta move the boxes, hiding them from the FBI. All right? This is around the same time Trump was greeting federal investigators at his property in June of 2022, 2 months before the FBI searches of Mar-a-Lago, and a year before Trump was indicted by Special Counsel Jack Smith over his alleged mishandling of classified documents. Butler told CNN that he hasn't even spoken to his one-time best friend, Carlos de Oliveira, who was one of Trump's co-defendants since the indictment, and explained why he doesn't think Trump, his boss of 20 years, should be elected president ever again. This is somebody from Trump world who is going on record to explain to the American people, especially to his cult members, why Donald Trump shouldn't be president. He even went into detail about how Donald Trump ruined his friendship with his best friend for over 20 years. What do you Trump supporters really have to say for yourselves? Is this acceptable conduct? Think about it. The boxes were going, so here's some of the takeaways. Number one, like I mentioned earlier, the boxes were going out as the FBI was coming in. That was one of the key takeaways. The other one, we're all dirty. We all move boxes. This is one of the statements that came out of this nasty situation. De Oliveira was added as a co-defendant in the classified documents in July of 2023 when he was charged with trying to cover up efforts to move the boxes at Trump's resort. Prosecutors allege in an updated indictment that Nauta and De Oliveira attempted to delete security footage at the former president's resort after the Justice Department issued a subpoena for it. And yet they got this sham thing going on in Congress about President Biden. Oh, Zeus, he had them next to his Corvette. What? Are you really trying to talk about documents next to a Corvette when we got these folks out here committing obstruction of justice? Butler's interview offered new insight into De Oliveira's mindset when he spoke to investigators before he was indicted. Prosecutors alleged that De Oliveira lied to the FBI about whether he knew of the boxes of documents at Mar-a-Lago. Butler recalled a conversation where De Oliveira tried to include him among those who were moving the boxes with classified documents. Even though Butler said he didn't have any clue what the boxes that helped take to the airport held, he said, quote, there was one time he said, you know, this is what De Oliveira said to him. You know, we're all dirty. We're all dirty. We all move boxes. Wow. And I said, well, look, I didn't even know what I was moving until I was at the plane, and that's when I remembered moving the boxes. Quote, I think he just wanted to, I don't know, he continued, maybe he thought if it was Walt, him, and I all together, maybe things would be better if we all just didn't know. Wow. Another takeaway. Butler was asked about De Oliveira's loyalty. All right. And also, Carlos pressured Butler to get a Trump-aligned attorney. But I'll wrap it up right here. Butler said something that I want you all to let sink into your cerebral cortex. He says this: while he worked for Trump for 2 decades, Butler said he would now view him unfavorably and did not think he should be running for president ever again. I personally would just say I just don't believe that he should be a presidential candidate at this time, I think it is time to move on. He explained that he chose to speak out about what he saw at Mar-a-Lago because he thinks that voters should know what happened before the election and that Trump's claims he did nothing wrong are all bogus. You get this? Donald Trump's claims that he did nothing wrong are all bogus. This is coming from somebody that has worked with Donald Trump, somebody that has laid eyes on Donald Trump, smelled the same air, even probably smelled his dirty diaper. I think the American people have the right to know the facts that this is not a witch hunt. This is serious stuff. Quote, I don't want to live in fear. I mean, we're only here for a finite time. To me, I refuse to live in fear like that. I mean, yes, cautious, but you know, I am going to tell the truth. I mean, this is so much bigger than me. It's bigger than Carlos. You know, this is a nation that needs to decide who's going to be the next president. Wow, wow, wow. I am so proud of Brian Butler for having the courage to get his own attorney and to distance himself from Donald Trump, and even if that meant he had to cut off and sever ties with his best friend in order to try to save this country from the most dangerous criminal ever, Donald J. Trump. So guess what we got to do this bright and early, ladies and gentlemen, on a nice Tuesday morning? Join me in giving Donald Trump, Carlos de Oliveira, what they deserve. Our first honorable round of booze and shame, because they are putting the United States at risk every single day. All right? And at the end of the day, their supporters believe the lies and the nonsense, but we don't. So let's give them what they deserve, some booze and shame. Right. Let's give them some booze and shame. Here we go.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
Silence, you MAGA demons. I refuse to allow Trump supporters to be victims around me. All right. So for all of you Trump supporters that are spamming my chat, you know, FJB Trump 2024, do me a huge favor. All right. Just do me a solid. Don't type another thing in the chat section. All right. Because you have zero credibility with Zeus. All right. None. Don't even invite me anymore to your spaces. I don't go when you ask. I go when I want to. All right. You have zero credibility, and I'm pretty sure that even if the truth was to knock on the door, you still wouldn't recognize it because you're under a strong, nasty delusion. All right? Speaking of delusion, I'm surprised this has even made it this far. This just shows you how corrupt the GOP really is, ladies and gentlemen. This right here. Robert Hur, ladies and gentlemen, he resigns ahead of the House hearing with the help from Trump world figures. This is the knucklehead who wrote that nasty report about President Biden and the way Biden handled those classified documents, right? So he's in Congress today. What is he doing? Testifying? What is he supposed to say? How is he going to back up everything that he wrote if he didn't decide to proceed with charges? Snuggles, I got some bad news for you. After Special Counsel Hur's report, guess how many charges he recommended? 0. Snuggles, what's 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, Snuggles?
Struggle pancakes, struggle honey buns, struggle in the weight. Yeah, he's a struggler.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Snuggles is the most deranged individual on TikTok. I know I'm going to the left just a quick second, but I got to say this. Snuggles and all the people who join his live, Tiny Tim, Double D, Retribution, what else is his name? Clickbait, who goes by a new name, Democrat Destroyer, because we destroyed Clickbait, all of these knuckleheads, Jay Bear, Stacy Bear, they're all liars. Ask, when you go and talk to them again, say Snuggles, and just mention the name Zeus. He'll kick you out of the box because he knows what Zeus is about. He knows Zeus is about the truth, right, ladies and gentlemen? Special Counsel Hur, ladies and gentlemen, who oversaw the investigation into President Joe Biden's retention of classified information, timed his resignation from the Justice Department with the help of Trump-aligned lawmakers ahead of his testimony to Congress. Quote, according to multiple sources familiar with Mr. Hur's plans, the special counsel, who is appearing before the Judiciary Committee at the request of the Republican majority led by Ohio Representative Jim Matt Jordan, has arranged his departure from the DOJ to be official as of Monday, March 11th, one day before he was scheduled to appear, right? Instead of appearing as a DOJ employee who is bound by ethical guidelines which govern the behavior of federal prosecutors, he will appear as a private citizen with no constraints on his testimony. Quote, that makes it even more problematic from our perspective. All right, says the Democrats in the House Judiciary Committee. Quote, if he was still a federal employee, DOJ would have to approve his testimony and they'd be involved in his appearance tomorrow. This comes as Hur and U.S. Attorney from Trump's administration is under fire by political commentators and legal experts for the partisan nature of his final report, with some accusing him of gratuitously attacking Biden's character. You see what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen? I know he's live right now, CC. This is why I was tempted to not go live today, because I wanted to see this. But I have a record to keep, right? I can't miss a show, right? So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Because we once again have caught another MAGA demon. We've caught him. Plain dirty. So you're going to write a disgusting report about President Biden that clearly has no merit to it. There's no teeth in it, right? You don't recommend any criminal charges. You point out some nasty things. You try to call out his age. But then what did Biden do? He gave an amazing State of the Union speech, right? And that speech was so good that MAGA couldn't say a single word about it, right? They were quiet as a church mouse. All right, but yet and still, this knucklehead decides to resign so that he can go in and show his rear end to the Republicans to make it look like Biden is something that he is not. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Special Counsel Hur, all right? I'm going to call him MAGA Counsel. Can we call him MAGA Counsel Hur? Yeah, I think that's a good name. Join me in giving him what he deserves. Another round of booze and shame. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is another sign of just how crooked and corrupt the Republicans are. By the way, MAGA, I got a new thing right here. MAGA, any Trump supporters out there, I need your help, all right, MAGA? I need your help, all right? I'm going to take a minute right here, and this is now time for me to... We call this fleecing the flock, all right? I'm going to move on to my next topic, but before I move on, I want to ask MAGA for a little bit of help, all right? I'm asking MAGA right now, could you please chip in to the kingdom, all right? There's a kingdom fund that I'm starting, MAGA, and I need you to chip in, all right?
I am very humbly asking if you could chip in $5, $10, or even $25. I know that times could be tough, and they are tough under this horrible president that we have, crooked Joe Biden.
Right.
So if you can't contribute now, don't even think about it. Don't do it. You got to take care of your family and yourself. I want you to do that first. But with your donation today, we will win back the White House. We will make America great again, greater than ever before. I promise you that.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, MAGA. I'm very humbly asking you, MAGA, to chip in. All right, $5 or $10. All right, with your donations, we can do a lot of great things. All right. Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen, this stuff writes itself, right, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's just move it along because I don't got much time to play around with you Trump supporters this morning. I really don't. And so while there's a hearing about Robert Hur, there's another hearing going on in Congress today, ladies and gentlemen. And this one is about the police response to the January 6th pipe bomb. And we all know, let's cut it, lady. We all know who's behind the pipe bomb, right? We all know. Please put it in the chat who you think is behind the January 6th pipe bomb, all right? Especially my Democrat friends, because this is don't you dare put Biden. It's not Biden. Look in the chat, MTG. All right, thank you. Okay, so this is a Republican-led subcommittee, and what they're doing now, right, is they're airing their concerns about how law enforcement failed in the investigation. This is another sign. It's MAGA it's the MAGA behind those pipe bombs. Because why are you once again attacking the police? You got to ask yourself, why does MAGA always find a way to justify attacking the police? Whether you saw what they did on the Capitol, right? You saw Marjorie Taylor Greene defund the DOJ, defund the FBI, right? And now this. Now they're saying, oh, it was the police's fault. A House subcommittee examining the work of the now disbanded Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the Capitol has, quote, serious concerns about the response from Capitol Police and other law enforcement to pipe bombs discovered near the Capitol that day. The House Administration Committee's oversight panel, led by Chairman Barry Loudermilk, said in the report that their investigation obtained evidence that law enforcement came up short in several ways when responding to the bombs near the RNC and the DNC headquarters. Among them, the report said a failure to properly maintain a secure perimeter around the pipe bombs allowed pedestrians and traffic to come close near the bombs, and a failure to stop commuter trains from moving across a bridge near the DNC put citizens in danger. Capitol Police radio channels transmitted inaccurate information that allowed civilians and law enforcement units to breach the perimeter, the report says. And the law enforcement failed to prevent contamination of the crime scene by letting people and cars go through it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now you can go check this report out, but you've heard enough. What this is a wrap-up smear campaign. Once again, we've caught the Republicans attacking the police. They know exactly who's responsible for this pipe bomb. And yet, instead of having a report about this, 81 pages, instead of actually writing a report about MGT being the pipe bomb suspect, right? That's what I hear. They go and attack our law enforcement. How many times, MAGA, do you gotta attack law enforcement? How many times? What did these police officers do to you to make you go at them like this? It makes absolutely zero sense. But you know what? It does make sense if you think about it like this. They're only doing it because they don't want the cops to continue to hold them accountable for what they did on January 6th. And so this is their little way of getting some payback. This is their way of getting retribution, right? Because that's what they're running for in 2024, right? And they don't think we can see it. So guess what I'm going to need you all to do? Since these Republicans, these MAGA Republicans have no shame because the MAGA demon is in control, this is what I need you all to do. Join me once again in giving these seditionist, treasonous traitors what they rightfully deserve. Another round of boos and shame. This isn't fake news.
Silence!
I got some more bad news, MAGA. This is. I'm not letting up. See, I see right now I got some dissension in my comment section, Ange. Do I got some dissension?
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
You hear that, MAGA? Just leave. Don't type another thing in my chat. You rats will never be honorable. You're traitors. You understand this? I had a knucklehead come in my box. You see this guy yesterday? I posted a video of him. What was his name? Uncle Tom. Operation Exposed. They got in my box and they wanted to have a conversation with me. And they realized yesterday, Zeus is not in the mood to debate. If you don't know how to get in the box and really behave, I'm going to drop you like a bad habit. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to deliver the truth. And the truth is Donald Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who are all in a cult, are the most dangerous threat to our country right now. They can try to do all these off the focus things and talk about the border. You know, they like to talk about border. They like to talk about funding going to Ukraine. Wouldn't it be nice if we use that money here in the United States? This is what they say. Wouldn't it be nice if we use that money here in the United States? Oh, as if you have a track record of using money to help people in the United States, MAGA. You know good and well you don't want to help people like me. And you're going to try to send me some. Oh, Zeus, we should take the money that and it's not money, it's really equipment and whatnot, right? Maybe there's a little money, but mainly it's equipment, all right? You should take that money and we should allocate it to the African Americans in the United States, Zeus. Don't you think that would be a great idea? These Trump supporters think I was born yesterday. Let's talk about something else with these traitors, all right? Defamatory comments against E. Jean Carroll could send Donald Trump, guess where? To jail. And this is what I think is ultimately going to take place. I mean, all paths lead to jail with this guy, right? All paths lead to jail. Former prosecutor, all right, Andrew Weissman explained that former President Donald Trump could find himself facing sanctions that include jail if he repeats defamatory comments against writer E. Jean Carroll. For those of you who are out there, let me help you understand. Donald Trump is an adjudicated rapist, all right? He's already been found liable, all right, for SAing this woman and defaming her. And when he gets out on his social media platform and he says things like, I don't know who she is, they're only doing this because I'm rich, he is lying. He knows exactly who this woman is, and the people, the jury, the judge, they all found out that he knows who this woman is, and which is why they awarded this woman the amount of money that she's been awarded. And she might actually end up getting more money because Donald Trump can't zip it. All right. So this is what they're saying. The former prosecutor quipped that it could be a great annuity for both E. Jean Carroll and her law firm if Donald Trump defames Carroll on the campaign trail. A judge can take bigger steps if Trump proves that he cannot, as Wallace put it, be regulated by financial penalties. All right. Carroll and Kaplan also asked for an injunctive relief. All right. Which Wiseman explained would argue money is not going to be sufficient to protect victims here. All right. And result in a protective order. So now after we take Donald Trump's money, we're going to get a protective order against him. Right. Then if Trump violates that injunctive order, he could face some serious consequences that are way more severe. All right. And we find it a very tantalizing as a prospect. All right. If the former president were to violate an injunction, all sorts of sanctions can come up. And at that point, the judge could recommend him going to jail, where he really belongs. Right. Everyone knows Donald Trump belongs in jail. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? This is the same guy that says he has the most respect for women. This is the same guy that has been found to have SA'd at least 26 women, right? This is the same guy that has been found liable for essaying and defaming E. Jean Carroll. All right? Join me in giving this nasty orange clown, what he deserves. All right? Another round of booze and shame! Silence, you MAGA demons, all right? All right? Now let's play a new game, ladies and gentlemen. Should we play a game called MAGA or not? All right? Should we play MAGA or not? You know the rules, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's MAGA. All right? And put a 2 if you think it's other. Should we play MAGA or not? Are you ready? All right? Yes, please. All right. All right. And what I'd like to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I like to go find stories, all right, that are happening in this country to help highlight just how disgusting and dangerous MAGA is, all right? And this is a story right here that's quite disturbing, to say the least. And this is why I do the work that I do, because a lot of these folks, they don't know it. They don't know they're possessed until stuff like, you know, the show like what we're doing today, the shows that we're doing, it helps a lot of them realize they're possessed, all right? So let's get into this story. This story comes from the state of Alabama. A young Republican leader is charged with essay, torture, and unaliving of another man. Well, this isn't exactly what you want for a role model for young Republicans. Even worse, their party leader. In a shocking press release, the Madison County Sheriff's Office in Alabama announced that they'd arrested a man named Kyle Hayden Luter, 36 years old, with alleged unaliving of another man, Derek Frank Walls, 54. Walls was found unalive inside his own Harvest home on Thursday. His uncle called 911 after he didn't answer the door, and sheriff's deputies found him there, apparently in a very nasty and disturbing scene. Luter was first charged with unaliving, but on Friday, 2 more charges were added, SA and ST, with an inanimate objects. Disgusting. Walls' cause of death has not yet been released and is pending the completion of an autopsy. But it's clear this was a brutal situation. We're not sure we've seen anything like this before, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the sheriff's office says. All right. And this is what they said. I'm going to skip over some of the details, but I'll say this. I'll say this much, ladies and gentlemen. While they wait for more specifics and possibly stuff that is unprintable, details that they can tell you about are rather upsetting. All right. The man is being charged with these crimes, worked closely with young people and political leaders. He's the chairman of the local chapter of the Madison County Young Republicans, according to their Facebook page. Their profile says their mission focuses on recruiting, training, and electing Republican candidates to office at all levels of office, from the courthouse to the White House. And then it lists a phone number to reach Luter directly. And it hasn't even been changed yet. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to do? Is this MAGA or not? Put a 1 in the chat if you think this is MAGA. Please. You see? You see? You see what we got in the audience, ladies and gentlemen? The American people know what MAGA is. They know what MAGA looks like. And we are done with it. MAGA doesn't belong in the White House. They belong in hell, right? So guess what we're going to do? Since they have no shame, we're going to give it to them. You disgusting, evil MAGA demons. They asked me, why do I call them MAGA demons? This is a good example of why. Join me in giving this MAGA demon what he deserves, right? Another round of booze and shame. I wish I could give him more.
You MAGA demon.
And so to my friends on the other side of the aisle, the J Bears, right? The J Bears, the ones that said they are 100% down for the Republican Party and MAGA. What do you have to say about this? This monster who's representing MAGA is also working around kids. Don't you ever come and tell Zeus you helping kids. No, you're not. And I got the proof right here. Probably if you go through your phone, you have his number in there. These folks are sick, ladies and gentlemen. These are some sick people. All right. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. We got to wrap this show up and get started with some of the other pressing issues, all right? This is disturbing right here, all right? Trump lawyers tell Mar-a-Lago judge that they need more time to work on the New York criminal case as they look to halt that very case until after the Supreme Court rules. So, in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, this is Donald Trump once again trying to evade justice, trying to evade law and order, all right in front of the eyes of the American people. Attorneys for former President Donald Trump on Monday asked a judge in the Mar-a-Lago case to give them 2 more weeks to respond to Jack Smith's pretrial motions dealing with discovery, citing among several reasons a need to prepare for the fast approaching New York hush money trial date of March 25th. What the filing did not say, however, is that Trump's defense team has separately moved to adjourn the state trial until after the U.S. Supreme Court rules on the scope of the presidential immunity doctrine. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm saying. And we know Judge Eileen Cannon is doing her darndest to help Donald Trump. Why would you tell one judge, hey, I need you to, let's not move forward with that case because I'm going to wait for presidential immunity and maybe that'll then put me in a space where I could actually properly defend myself. Please, let's not do that. And then you go to your best friend, who's the other judge. Hey, can we get a little bit more time because I got this other trial going on up here, and leave out the detail about how you're trying to delay it. Why would you do that, Donald? And by the way, he's not Honest Don. He said call him Honest Don. No, you're not Honest Don. You're Lion Con Don, right? You would only do that, Donald Trump, because you know just like I know, you're guilty. And the American people know it. MAGA, they know it, but they don't care because they're under that strong delusion, right? So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, because you know what? This is nothing more than another trick up Donald Trump's sleeve to try to escape law and order, and it's not going to work. Join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters, his seditionist, treasonous supporters, what they rightfully deserve. Another round of booze and shame. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to move towards the tail end of the monologue, and you know exactly you know exactly what this is about. All right, we're moving into January 6th territory. All right, and I'm just going to give you a heads up right now. If you're one of those people out there that still think Nancy Pelosi is behind the attack on the Capitol and you can't hold Donald Trump accountable, you might want to leave this live because it's about to get uncomfortable.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Exactly. If you're not happy, you can leave. I want to call this out right here, ladies and gentlemen, because I want you to understand just how ridiculous this stuff is getting. Donald Trump is now pledging to immediately free the January 6 hostages. This is what he says he's going to do in the event he gets reelected. This is his campaign promise. All right. He posted on Truth Social. All right. My first act as your next president will be to 1, close the border, drill, baby, drill, which I think is definitely him admitting SA, right? And to free the January 6 hostages being wrongfully imprisoned. See, ladies and gentlemen, what Donald Trump is doing is he's openly admitting that those people who participated in the attack on the Capitol on January 6th are his supporters. So I don't want to hear about the ghost buses, right? I don't want to hear about the FBI being a part of it. I don't want to hear about BLM and Antifa being a part of it, because he's not saying I want to release BLM and the FBI and I want to release the J6 hostages. So he's confessing what we all know. So let's give Donald Trump what he deserves, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a quick and easy one, right? Let's give Donald Trump what he deserves. All right. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we got another update from one of these so-called insurrectionists, these fake patriots, ladies and gentlemen. Many of you know exactly what this is about. Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing more than the modern day Confederate president. All right. He's the president of they call it the Confederate States of America, right? The CSA. And Donald Trump is the president. He's Jefferson Davis reincarnated. And his capital is where? In Mar-a-Lago, right? Which we all know isn't worth what he said it's worth. And so how did we get here as a nation? How did the Civil War start? That's what they're asking. Oh, well, you know the attack on the Capitol, right? That's like the attack on Fort Sumter, right, in South Carolina. He kicked it off when he did that, right? So what did Donald Trump do? Well, ladies and gentlemen, when Donald Trump realized that Joe Biden was going to win the 2020 election, he began to plant this nasty seed in the mind of his supporters, his soldiers. I call them his Confederate soldiers, right? He knew the best way to get revenge from his perspective was to get them to believe that the election was rigged.
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
Right? It's a rigged election. It's the only way that we're going to lose. That's the seed that he planted into the mind of his supporters, right? And so all the way towards the election, Donald Trump began to put things into motion. He developed a scheme, the fake elector scheme, right? And this was going to be the plan he unleashed once the results of the election came out, right? And we all know what happened. We all know what happened. Joe Biden won the 2020 election fair and square, right? So instead of Donald Trump conceding, what did he decide to do? Well, on election night, he decided to go water that seed of doubt, that seed that he had planted in the mind of his soldiers, right? He decided he was going to water it with more lies and misinformation.
Such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory.
Right? Right. Instead of coming out and congratulating President Joe Biden, he decides to water that seed of doubt that's in the mind of his soldiers. He didn't say we lost. How did the polls not end up in our way? How did the polls not go in our favor? This doesn't make any sense. And then he actually went a little further, all right?
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
You hear that? He somehow convinced his soldiers that they won the election with that lie right there. And he didn't stop there. He decided he needed to plan an assault on the United States Capitol. Because after all, he's the leader of the Confederate, right? So what did he do next? I'll tell you what he did, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you exactly what he did. Attention! All Confederate soldiers. This is Donald Trump talking to the Trump supporters, the ones that wear the red hats. I am hosting an event called Stop the Steal. This is a rally in Washington, D.C. that I will be at, where I will be giving you your next marching orders. All right? Sell all that you have and meet me at the Capitol on January 6th. It's going to be wild. So that was a directive and an order given by Donald Trump to his soldiers. And what exactly did they do? They jumped in the back of the U-Hauls, right, in their khaki pants, and they put those masks on. They sent Donald Trump their money. They got ammunition and tactical gear, and they all converged onto the Capitol on January 6th, right? To meet their leader, their commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, who would then give them their next mission, their next assignment. But before he gave them their next assignment, he had to rile them up, right? He had to rile these soldiers up because they came to save our country. So what did he do to rile them up? He encouraged them to engage in acts of violence, right?
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down. Anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Right. And you got to keep in mind that
Hey, NBC News.
you got to keep in mind that Donald Trump wasn't the only one telling the soldiers this. He had one of his lieutenants, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. He had one of his lieutenants, MGT, actually in their heads as well, telling them to do things, right?
Everything. If we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building. Let's finish with our meetings here at the White House.
You hear that? So Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, all right? They're all in on it. And they planted that seed to get these soldiers to go attack the Capitol. So what did they do? They started to march towards the Capitol. And they were saying nasty things, right? Hang Mike Pence. They even brought the gallows. They wanted to unalive our vice president, the vice president of these United States. They were willing to do that. Trump supporters were. Now, listen, I don't like Mike Pence. I don't, but I respect the fact that he's the vice president. How could you vote for Mike Pence to be the vice president and then want to unalive him? This is what he did, though. This is what his soldiers were intent on doing. So when they get to the Capitol, they ran across a fella named Ray Epps, who we all know. They shouted, "Feds, feds, feds" at. They were trying to say Ray Epps was the feds, which made absolutely no sense. Because if you really thought Ray Epps was the feds, MAGA, why did you continue to break the law? Think about that. You're going to break the law right in front of the police? Something's not right. And this is why I don't allow these Trump supporters to be victims around me, because their thought process, when you really put it all together, it makes no sense other than the fact that they're lying. and they're in denial. So they decided to ascend upon the Capitol and cause all kinds of damage and destruction, attack law enforcement, and a woman that they came with, Ashley Babbitt, lost her life. Because of this, all because of Donald Trump's lies. People lost their lives. And to this day, Donald Trump has not admitted that he's responsible for this attack. They'll blame Nancy Pelosi, they'll blame the FBI, they'll blame everyone. But his soldiers, they don't have the courage to look Donald Trump in his eyes and say, you, sir, are the reason we're sitting in this prison. They don't have the courage, right? And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into the crime scene and talk about what happened to one of his soldiers that day. Let's talk about what happened to one of Donald Trump's soldiers that day, all right, when we caught him committing a crime. A man now living in Girdwood was arrested this week on federal charges that accuses him of participating in the January 6, 21 attack on the United States Capitol. Eric Staples, 33, appears to be one of 4 people with Alaska connections to be charged in the riot that has so far resulted in more than 1,100 people being arrested. Staples, who had his first hearing on Thursday in Anchorage federal court, told U.S. magistrate judge that he and his wife live in Girdwood. He provided little additional personal information. All right? It wasn't immediately clear why his arrest came more than 3 years after the attack on the Capitol. All right, but they said the lapse in time was just part of the investigatory process. When asked about the delay, he did not provide additional details about that process. And it also wasn't immediately clear how long he lived in Alaska. He was registered to vote in Texas in 2020. Records more consistently listed with a Wyoming address. Wow. And the charges against Staple were filed in December, but the case was sealed until his arrest this week. The FBI received a number of public tips in January regarding Staples' involvement in the riot. According to a statement of fact written by an FBI agent and included with those charges during an interview in 2021, a tipster provided screenshots of Staples' Facebook posts about going to the riot and photos of him at the United States Capitol. Staples then deleted his Facebook and other social media accounts by the morning of January 7th, the statement said. The FBI executed a search warrant on the account and found the photos and posts about the riot. An officer reviewed closed-circuit television footage and identified Staples entering the building through a window near the Senate wing door, the statement said. During an interview at the FBI's Wyoming office on December 21, Staples told an investigator that he flew from Houston to Washington, D.C. on January 5th and met up with family to attend President Trump's Stop the Steal rally the next day. He stated that he went with a good heart with the intention of protesting. Staples indicated that he felt it was his duty to attend and that he knew it would be a historic day. You see what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen? All these Trump supporters who have been arrested all admit they went to support Donald Trump at the Stop the Steal rally. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Because Mr. Staples didn't have any shame, and it appears his wife didn't either. None of them said, you know what, hun, this is a bad idea. Why would we go to a rally named Stop the Steal? That makes absolutely no sense. It seems like they didn't have the ability or the foresight to think of that, right? Guess what we're going to do? Join me in giving Mr. Staples and his wife what they deserve. Another round of booze and shame. Get them out of here. Exactly. And because he's been arrested, you know what we must do? You know what we must do? Let's send him off the old-fashioned way.
like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You heard that? You hear that, MAGA? The same knucklehead that told you you're going to march to the Capitol and he'll be right there with you. He just told you you're going to pay, and he told you you do not represent this country with those heinous acts of violence. To think. This is the part that gets me. I mean, it never leaves my mind. These people, these are grown adults, all right? Folks that supposedly know how to wipe their own behind, right? They listen to a man that wakes up every day, paints himself orange, puts a bird's nest on his head, right? Puts on a diaper and that crumpled blue suit with the red tie, and he gets on his social media platform and gives them their next marching orders. I don't get it. I don't get it. You listen to this guy, the same one that said, we're going to go to the Capitol and I'll be right there with you. And what did he do? He said, I ain't going with you. I'm getting with Secret Service. I'm going back home and I'm going to watch this play out on TV. Went back to the White House. Give me a Diet Coke. My soldiers are about to throw their lives away for me, and this is what I need to feel good. And you all did it. Donald Trump played you like a fiddle. And then they get mad at me. You're not mad at me. I know deep down, you know you're not mad at me. You're not mad at anybody on TikTok. You are all upset. You are all angry because deep in your hearts, you know Donald Trump played you. And you don't have the courage to tell Donald Trump what I'm telling you. See, I could go tell Donald Trump that he's a liar. I can. And I'd be fine. 10 toes down, Donald Trump, you're a liar. You're a con man. You're a grifter. And no, you ain't getting a crying dime from Zeus. I could tell him that, but you can't, right? You can't, because you're not free. I'm free. You're not, MAGA. And that's just how this goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's open up the box and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, listen, this is not the opportunity to debate Zeus because, listen, the facts are on my side. If you have a disagreement with me about anything, or there's something you feel like I may have gotten wrong, by all means, put it in the chat, and we will all definitely do our part to make sure we research the information and provide the most accurate information possible, because I don't want folks to be misinformed when they go and cast their vote. All right. But if your feelings are hurt or you're triggered right now, just do me a huge favor. Stay in the comments. All right. Listen to the rest of the show. All right. Because your credibility is zero right now. All right. You have zero credibility in the kingdom. And I refuse to allow Trump supporters to be victims around me. All right. And what I say is this: you need to really sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. You just might learn something, MAGA. You just might. All right, let's bring up our first panelist. Who do we got, ladies and gentlemen? My brother, how you doing? Stick the ruler, are you there? Going once, going twice. So, I guess we might be having troubles connecting. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go, Brother Lex. Good morning, Lex. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing?
Yeah, you caught me off guard.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen. That's how it is sometimes. You just never know. How you doing, my good friend?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Oh, you know, back on my main account, doing what I normally do, telling the truth and shaming the devil.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that whole Capitol mess, There was that one guy that was on disability. He lost his disability because they caught him climbing up the side of the building.
On the scaffold. Yeah. They threw it all away for Donald Trump, right?
You know what? They caught some guys from down here. You know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm
they
pretty
started-
sure. Yeah, they've caught them from every single state.
Well, I noticed that the day before that happened, there was a whole lot of. They sold a whole lot of flags, didn't they?
They did what?
They sold a whole lot of flags.
Oh yeah, those Trump flags. Yeah.
I was seeing them all over the place. Those flags everywhere. But I was getting ready to do something crazy on here. I didn't think I was going to get on here this quick.
Oh, go for it.
You kind of shocked me. I don't know if
They're not political prisoners. These folks that are sitting in
Who
prison.
said that?
One of the MAGA demons.
Well, actually, they are political prisoners. They're prisoners because of their politics.
Now that's funny. I'll give you that. That's funny. And it's all self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted while they're sitting in prison because there was way too much information out there for them to be in the situation that they're in.
Here you go. Hold on a second. Let me see if this works. This is a song for Donald Trump. It's got 4 words. You're broke. Donald Trump, you're broke. Everything you do is broke.
Hey!
You got no money, you broke. You're broke. You're broke. Donald Trump, you're broke. Donald Trump, you're broke. 500 million, you broke. And I hope you choke. Y'all like the joke.
Hey!
Donald Trump, you're broke. Broke. Donald Trump, you're broke.
Hey!
Donald Trump, you're broke. Come on now, them Jesus. Come on.
Hey!
Broke it, ain't broke.
You broke it, he broke! Hey! He broke it, he broke! Oh!
Knuckles is broke. You know still need Jesus. Broke. Jesus. Janae. Struggle.
Jesus!
Broke. Everybody.
Hit him! Hit him with it!
Yeah, broke. Yeah, broke. Broke. Yeah, broke. Yeah, broke. Broke.
Just keep on singing it. Hit that high note, brother.
Broke. Yeah, broke.
Take him to church.
Broke. Yeah,
Hey, listen, man. That's a nice hit record back there. It's always nice when you do that. What was that?
I said, so what were we doing again?
Oh, no.
No,
We're bringing the truth as normal.
what I'm gonna say is, in these times, people are feeling a lot of tension and a lot of passion about what's going on in our country.
Exactly.
And what I urge people to do is try to figure out a way to decompress from a lot of the politics and things that are going on. Mm-hmm. However, don't be a damn fool in your decision making.
Bingo.
Because at this point in time, it's obvious, especially when you saw the Stepford wives give their speeches this last week.
Oh my God.
You know, the one with the emotions. She was like,
Yeah.
hello, everybody.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill us. Ah!
Yeah.
Woo! You know, and then the other one came on there, and the Stephanopoulos interview. Did you see that?
I didn't see that one.
Where she tried to accuse George Stephanopoulos of.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I did see that. You're talking about Katie Britt. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I seen both of those.
Katie Britt was the speech, and then Nancy, was it Nancy Mace or something Mace? Crazy. Okay, it's obvious that you can see the mindset of these people.
Yeah, they're delusional.
And, you know, and then they come to us and they attack us for our intelligence.
Absolutely, and it's not going to fly. It's not going to fly, my brother. But listen, I got to move it on, all right, Brother Lex?
But as I said again, when they attack your intelligence, I always say that before I leave, I am Dr. Lex Lucchese.
Thank you. Tell him. That means Way above you. Thank you, brother. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Lex. No lies detected. It's not that hard to get in the box and tell the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, Uncle Tom, it's so nice to see you here once again. Hopefully you learned something, all right? Because it was quite unfortunate what you had to go through yesterday in the kingdom, all right? But you know what? If you practice and listen, you just might be able to get a little further next time, all right? But you have zero credibility when it comes to talking to Zeus, all right? Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move it along. All right, stick the ruler. You took. He said he took me down. Oh, cut it out. Good morning, Stick. Are you there? We're having a hard time connecting, my man. Jesus Christ. Stick the ruler. I don't know what's going on, brother, but every time we try to connect, there's an issue. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring up another panelist. Who do we got? Working Towards Freedom. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can. This is our first time doing business?
Yes, our first time, Sus. And I'm not a MAGA me. I'm not a MAGA demon.
Oh, you're not a MAGA demon.
No. Quickly though, 3 points I want to make, and I enjoy watching your program. Number one.
Okay, let's go. Let's see.
Number one, I want to encourage all of us to realize that democracy is not just the right to choose, but the right to choose what's right for all of us.
Bingo.
I agree with fighting MAGA because they're out of their minds and they are a complete threat to the country. But at the same time, let's figure out how to have more choices. Why do we only have Republicans and Democrats to pick from? We should have more choices because they both have failed our people, both of them. And I agree that the Democrats will stab you in the back, the Republicans will stab you looking at you. That's the only difference, right? Number two, and I mean, look at the state of our schoolings, the communities, the poverty levels, etc., right? Both, to me, the oligarchy class of this country has divided into two groups, millionaires and billionaires, right? And that's what we choose from. I hope that one day we can have more choices. Number two, the justice system has failed this country. Right?
Okay. Listen, Working Towards Freedom. I'm gonna have to ask you to slow down right there. Now you said you watch my show. How long have you been watching Zeus?
I would say about maybe a month and a half, probably.
Oh, okay. Well, I was about to I was gonna take the gloves off, but I think this is a conversation that I think I just gotta have. But I'm gonna try to be gentle about it. Now you said the Democrats, they will do something nasty in your back.
Right.
What was the justification for that statement? Maybe I'm missing something.
All right. So I've been a union representative for 28 years, Sus. I'm that guy that goes into the work sites and has bargained contracts for state employees, county employees, city employees, hospital employees, etc. And what I've noticed, right, we're very heavily involved in politics. Every election, right, we're out there knocking on doors. What I've noticed is that when the Democrats win, things do get better for us. I'm not going to deny that, right? I choose a Democrat anytime over a Republican. But it's never everything that we need, Sus. The schools in California, for example, we're still underfunded. There's a level of poverty that is just extreme and lack of access to real resources for people of color everywhere, right?
And so from your experience, that falls squarely on the Democrats.
It falls on both parties. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, because you understand how things work in this country, right? Just because we authorize funding to be made available, you understand that there's Republicans out there always trying to sabotage it, right? That's now. So I really want to push back and say, I don't believe it's the Democrats that are stabbing folks in the back. I mean, that's kind of harsh. If you're talking about troubles with implementing things, that's one thing, but there's so many other things the Democrats are doing. I mean, for instance, wouldn't you say what Barack Obama did with the Affordable Care Act? Wasn't that pretty good?
That was great, my brother, but
isn't that saving millions of people's lives?
It sure is, my brother. I don't deny that. But
I mean, so
there's so much more, right, that could be done, brother. There's so much more.
I mean, I get that, but what are we doing? Throwing the baby out with the bathwater?
No, and that's why I stay in politics, right?
I mean, but the thing is, right, and that's what it is, right? when you're in politics, you don't get everything you want. So I would imagine, even if you were to go out and campaign, give me something that you would want to campaign on. Give me an example. What is something you would like to see happening in this
For
country?
example, universal healthcare, that would be a great thing. That's one of the major problems that we see.
And what does that look like, though, when you drill down on the detail? Does that mean folks have to pay any money? Folks like me, would I ever have to pay anything? Like, if I go get some medication, do I got to pay for it or no?
Right. Yes, when we talk about that issue, usually the argument is that people will have to pay more taxes, right?
I mean, no, I'm asking you to, I'm trying to imagine this, because my whole point by doing this exercise was to get you to a place where you go, where I'll say, well, listen, while you might have gotten, quote, universal health care, it didn't work for me, right? I wish there was this part about it that you did as well, but you didn't do it. So because of that, I don't like it, right? Because there's going to always be that.
Right. I understand what you're saying, right?
Right.
But Sus, this is what I'm saying. Look, this country is the richest country in the world, brother. There is enough money to have everything. Healthcare, universal education for youth, right? And all that
okay,
stuff.
but see, this is the thing, right? I mean, I'm not the smartest when it comes to how governments spend their fund, but once you allocate funding towards a certain thing, that the money can only be used for that, right? You do
Correct.
understand that? So you can't take money that was supposed to be meant for education and then turn around and use that for housing, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. That's just the way this country runs. And so when people say, well, we're the richest country in the world, I'm going, well, yeah, but how's that money been earmarked, right? I mean, if people aren't passing legislation designed to get the money to the places you want it to get to, then that's the issue, not necessarily the fact that we got the money.
Right. And what I'm saying, going back to my original point, what I've seen is that whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, our community's needs are not the top priority for those two parties, man.
But isn't that the local government issue?
The Democrats do better though than the Republicans. I agree with you 100%.
But in your community, you have local politicians,
True.
right? So you got local, state, federal. We're talking mainly federal on this show. And that's another thing, right? People sometimes convolute a lot of things that are happening locally with the federal government. It's like all the federal government most likely can do is make funding available. But if you don't got people in your local area actually, being hired to do what those programs are designed to do, then the funding just sits there. I've seen that happen several times in my lifetime.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
And so this is my call to action. I really do think the problem here in this country is we got a lot of folks who don't understand how government works. And I would encourage people that if they want to see some real change happening in the areas that they're in, to actually go seek the funding opportunities that are available and actually start doing that kind of work. A lot of times the funding is there, but people don't want to do the work. You know why they don't want to do the work? Oh, yeah. Because I don't trust the government. Well, how does that help the kids?
Right. So look, we just finished the school elections, the first round of school elections here in LA, and our candidates are moving forward to the runoff in November, right? I was just talking to one of my leaders. Hey, we got to do better knocking on doors in November because that's the final round.
Yeah.
But look, like in California, we have had Democratic reign for a while, like Sus Kingdom, right? Yeah. Democrats have been reigning in California. You would expect better funding for schools.
Well, I say that, but we know there's some red out here in California. All right, that's doing a lot of nasty sabotaging, right? I mean, and so this is just, to me, par for the course. I mean, that's traditional America. America has always had basically two dominating parties, right? Sometimes they switch and they flip, or they converge with other factions, but that's usually what is going on in this country, right? All right, but listen, I gotta move it on, though, bro.
But the last thing I wanted to say, my brother, you're right. And I think we need to have more choices, brother. We should have more choices.
Okay, and that's nice, but we got to also dwell in reality. I mean, if you know American history, the hardest thing, as far as I'm concerned, has been to keep the country united. Right?
It's
the hardest thing. The hardest job that I've seen, especially in American history, is the president's. It's been quite a thing for the president to keep the country united, right? Whatever the issue is. And so I just wanted to make sure you know that. I mean, yeah, we do need more choices, but if those choices result in this country dividing itself, then I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be in favor of that.
We gotta make the right choices for our community, Sus, whatever those are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want you to give it some thought at least. All right.
Yep. All right,
All
Sus.
right.
Keep up the good work.
All right. All right. Thank you for coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Working Towards Freedom. He wasn't a MAGA demon. He's not a MAGA demon. All right, I could tell. But the conversation. It's more of one of those. It's more of one of those closet of truth discussions. All right, as far as I am concerned, keeping the United States united has always been an issue. Whether you're talking about the actual inception of the United States, right, or you're talking about what happened during the Civil War, or even during civil rights. There's a lot of issues that can divide this country. Even right now, you have states like Texas that want to secede from the Union, right? I mean, the president's job is, as well as defending this country from enemies, foreign and domestic, right? It's also keeping the country united, which is very, very difficult when you start to think about what kind of issues are going on in this country. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have right here? Thank you for the gun working for the people towards freedom. Good morning, Last Prophet.
Good morning, Zeus. Good morning. It's your old friend, High Knot Triple H.
Oh, how's it going? I'm glad you changed your name.
I'm just a messenger now. I'm just a messenger. I got something I want to talk to you about. Two things right quick. The 3 minutes probably won't get me. One, and let me educate a few folks. You heard about the PB brothers, what happened to one of them the other day, right?
What happened? Did I miss something?
One of them got 5 years. His name is something Bray or something like that.
Oh.
He got a facelift.
Really?
Now, you've never been in any kind of like say courthouse, jailhouse, outhouse, nothing like that, right, Seuss?
Right.
Now, if a person happen to find themselves in a jailhouse or the big house, two things you don't do. You don't just come out and sit in the place you feel like sitting. And one of the cardinal rules is leave that TV alone. I hear he was fussing on. He wanted to watch Fox News, and somebody gave him a nose job. They did him a Michael Jackson.
Oh wow! This happened behind bars.
Steel doors. He was in there arguing over the TV, him and his partner, and try to exert political power in a politically charged atmosphere, because nothing's more political in prison.
Yeah.
Because it's all about politics in there. So then people showed him just where he and his organization stand at, according to them.
Wow.
And
Let that be an example. Let that be an example, MAGA. You don't get any special rights when you go to jail. And
if people looking for you and you get picked up, leave that TV alone. Just ignore it. It's just somebody talking on the wall. And don't go sit where you want to sit at too, because tables are already assigned.
Bingo.
Yeah. Now, two, before I go, am I just hearing things? I saw a video where Donald Trump is talking about the 9/11 incident, and he actually called it 7/11.
Oh, I remember that one. I remember that.
Yeah.
What do you got to say about that?
Just make sure you get him some chips and salsa.
They charge you a lot over there when you go get it at 7-Eleven. So, be careful when you go there. Wow.
It's the convenience of shopping in your neighborhood.
Okay. I get it.
But he I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't know what they see in him, and I can't figure that out. And I've been around for a while. I've met some charismatic people. I remember Reverend Ike. I remember what's his name? Even Chino Jenkins is kind of charismatic, and he hold a pull. Yeah. But even those people leave him alone when they find that there's something that's not proper.
Right.
But, he got a black cat bone that got this whole world messed up. 3 minutes, time to go. Talk to you later.
Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the Last Prophet. All right, he stayed within his time slot. No lies detected. Yeah, get the chips and the salsa. All right, listen. They love Donald Trump because they know Donald Trump speaks to them about the issues they're struggling with internally. He knows how to do it. He channels their energy, and that's why they are obsessed with him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring up our next panelist. Good morning, Jess. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs.
So, I love our state, and I just wanted to come up here and talk a little bit about Gavin Newsom.
Okay, yeah. By all means, please share.
So, what he's done for the economy is he's pushed one of the largest stimuluses ever. And Newsom proposed the largest budget or any states that included $100 billion in poverty targeting initiatives, including direct payments to millions of Californians and billions more for housing, debt relief, and education. He also reformed rent a little bit, capping how much landlords can hike rent, roughly about like 7%. It still sucks for a lot of people, but what he has also done for homelessness has been great. Not only during the pandemic, there was this Project Room Key that spent federal money to acquire vacant hotel rooms to help shelter homeless people. He is now turning that into a permanent supportive housing, and it includes a $5.8 billion budget to help people get off the streets and also help them with their mental illness.
Bingo.
And not only that, we have the fourth largest economy in the world. We have a lot of great things happening here. He's banned book bans. The man cares about it. He's expanded Obamacare.
Amen.
He's bringing $30 insulin to California. I don't understand why people are saying, oh, he's this, he's that. Like you said, there's red in California, and
Yes.
you know Republicans will block a lot of things that would help the everyday American.
Right.
So to sit here and say that it's both sides is disingenuous at best, and we all know this.
Yeah. I mean, I have direct knowledge of what happens when funding is made available to help communities, and if it's awarded, let's just say, to organizations that don't necessarily like Democrats, they will do all they can to stall it. That's just how it works.
And I also want to say that, like, with Gavin Newsom's housing, my brother, so I have 9 years clean, right? My has still been in and out, and he's still active in his addiction for the most part. I don't talk to him that much. But he was involved in the housing navigation program. And he found a home with his housing navigator. And with that, the rent is based off of your income. And he had no income. So he had a room essentially for free.
Right.
And they help you get on Social Security, get on food stamps. They offer you rides and all types of assistance.
Wow. See?
California has done a lot to try to help end homelessness because we know it is a problem.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people make a lot of complaints about how tough California is to live in. But if you really live here, you'll be able to, figure out what it takes to actually, survive and maintain out here. I mean, and it's not all bad just because they, call out things that tend to shock a lot of people. And I actually know California is definitely paying its fair share compared to a lot of these nasty, I won't say it, but compared to other states, I should say that.
Tell them quit taking our money, Zeus.
Yeah. Quit taking California's money.
It's socialism. You guys don't like that. Oh my goodness. All right, I heard my bell.
All righty then. All right, you two have a great and amazing day. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Jess No Lies Detective. See, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that hard to get in the box and tell the truth. It's like my grandmother always says, you got to tell the truth and shame the devil. And those of you, when I say shame the devil, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. You know who you are. With that nasty MAGA demon dwelling inside of your rotten soul. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. Let's go. Good morning, Tiffany. Let's go.
Good morning, Juicy.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Yes,
Juicy.
how are you doing? Yes,
Juicy with the truthy.
Hey, now there you go. You might be getting somewhere with that. All right, let's go.
Well, I know at the end when you say in your song you're sweet like a tooth. I mean, we don't know. Okay,
Hey,
we're gonna take your word for it.
No, you should definitely take my word for it. I have no reason to lie. No, zero.
Okay, first of all, did I miss it? Because I did fall asleep for a little bit there. You know, I'm a tired single mama. But did you do the smoke and the engines yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't done it. Should I do it?
Yes, everybody else in the chat wanted to do it because it makes my life every time.
All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, she backed by popular demand. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. Where is it at? All right. So many of you know exactly how this goes. And Uncle Tom, this is especially for you. You and what is your other friend's name? Whoever that individual was. The reason we don't argue with MAGA, ladies and gentlemen, is because you can tell right away the conversation's not going anywhere, you know, and you got to start thinking to yourself, you know what it's like. What situation, I should say, what situation can you think of that reminds you of something when you know it's not going anywhere, right? And I said, I know exactly what it is. You ever hear one of those cars start, ladies and gentlemen, and you can tell right away this car isn't going anywhere. All right, sounded a little something like this. Yeah. Uncle Tom! Retribution! Conservative Democrat, cut that thing off! That car sounds like it needs the hands of God placed on it. When was the last time that thing had a tune-up, right? Spark plug, distributed gas rotors. That thing sounds terrible. I get it.
Horrible.
Yeah. Horrible. That car needs the hands of God placed on it, right?
It really does. And, you know, why do struggles come in here with the same three things? You know, he always starts off with the same thing every time he gets
Talk to him. Because
like, yeah, what does he always say? No
zero convictions. Snuggles is going to have to buy everyone in the kingdom some steaks. You know, because the lies have caught up to him, right?
Exactly.
All the Trump supporters know it.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback off of what Jess said, because we have to acknowledge that these red demons are everywhere in every state, right? They won't go away. That's why we have to keep voting them out of office, period. And Angie and I, there was decorum already early before your live and Angie's live. I was over there reading them down, baby, because that's
good job.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to just say, like, piggybacking off of what Jess said, like, so, and I love my governor too, and Michigan Governor Whitmer. Yeah. I think her and Newsom would be great on a ticket together.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. But like, for instance, this is the crazy thing. A lot of these people actually believe in socialism, right? So the guy that was up here before, like, he makes a lot of valid points. But you have to realize who is responsible for a lot of these things and who cuts these things, right?
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, like Governor Whitmer passed free meals for children in public schools. Guess who did that? Governor Whitmer, right? Now, while I don't necessarily I don't call myself a Democrat, I call myself a socialist. But at the same time, we have socialists everywhere in our government that have to run on a Democratic ticket.
Right.
So she also cut checks for working families.
Right.
We have the most diverse legislation in Michigan currently. So, like, people have to understand that wages, I agree, like, wages are trash right now. Homelessness is an issue. But we have to understand who are the ones that are cutting funding for these things. Who are, like, let's say, for example, like the DHHS, the Department of Health and Human Services, who sets the guidelines for how much you can make to get assistance.
Right.
Oh, I bet you anything that Republicans make those guidelines, because they want to say that $30,000 annually is too much money to get some dang help. I would say damn.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's insane. Corporations are the ones who control wages. And do you agree with that? Like the individual companies and corporations, like they're the ones that control wages.
Yeah. So is it your understanding that a lot of people just don't understand how government works, which is kind of where the issue is?
Exactly. I think a lot of people don't understand civics. They barely passed it. You know, we understand who was it, what's his name, who was here in the comments, and who was up there yesterday, what's his name? The MAGA demon.
Oh yeah, Uncle Tom. I think
Uncle
that was it.
Tom.
Yeah.
Babes, we know the girls weren't talking to you, and we know you weren't paying attention in class. Okay.
Bingo.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you barely passed the fifth, babe.
Tell
Okay.
them, Tiffany.
So, the child tax credit during COVID. Well, we will say we had some treasonous traitors, Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, who were
Right.
making it seem like parents and families were going to be spending that $250 a month on drugs. How shameful!
Right.
But who cuts these types of things? It's freaking Republicans.
Bingo.
Every time. So they are not the same. So people that want to be like they're the same, and all politicians are bad, you're lying.
Right.
Okay.
Tell them.
I received 10 months of rental assistance.
Oh, see?
Yep, during COVID. And I would like to implore people to know where they can get these resources, because a lot of people are left in the dark and they don't know.
Please let them know.
You know what I'm saying? Please always reach out to me if you need help with these things, because I've been through it. I've been drastically impacted by COVID, as so many have been. And, you know, we need those resources. But I guarantee you, it is not people on the right that are passing these things. It is the left always.
Nope. Thank you.
So sorry.
Thank you. No. I mean, it's very important that we get this out here, because there's a group of there are folks out here who don't believe enough is being done, but it most likely could be that they just don't know exactly where to get the resources or the help that they need, right?
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of I would say misinformation, but in some cases it's not advertised at all, because maybe the way the funding or the resources are made available, they don't just go out and put a commercial or do a TikTok about it, right?
Right. And I heard my bell, but and they don't want people to understand that they can get help. It's a very tedious process, but you have to stick with it, and it's annoying. Yeah. But again, I think Republicans probably made it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they call it oversight, right? They want that oversight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what was that one more thing I was going to say? Sorry, I know I heard my bell.
Mickey Pete, thank you.
Oh, what was the something? Who was up here last? Prophet was saying something. Oh, somebody was saying something about a couple of different women that were speaking on something that I didn't see. I think I missed it.
Oh.
Katie something. What did I miss? Was
Katie
it like?
Britt?
Yeah,
Yeah. She was on with George Stephanopoulos, right? I think there was an interview. Yeah, they were talking about that, but I didn't see that one.
Okay, I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
And then last thing, I'm gonna leave it here. MAGA, you MAGA men and women, you need to stop busting it wide open for Trump, okay? Because you're weird. All right, you're weird to want to sleep with this MAGA. All right.
I really don't know. Love you too. I don't know why they do it, but yeah, they have a strange obsession with Donald Trump. They see him as some sort of romantic individual, and it's the most bizarre thing, right? Because it's like Melania doesn't even see him that way.
Right, she's not even busting it open. So why you guys want to bust it open?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I love you guys. Love you, Zoom. Sorry,
right.
I wanted you to speak more. I'm sorry I took over.
All right, no, it's all good. I spoke earlier, so I'm all good. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Tiffany for the people. Let's go. No lies detected. All righty then. Let's move it along. All right. We are cooking with the truth, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Good morning, Val. How are you doing, my good friend?
Oh no, I can't hear. Hold on.
Uh-oh, you can't hear. Thank you, Tiff. Yeah. Uh-oh, whoa. Well, please send another request. I always try to. Let's go. Where did you go, Val? Where did you go? Val, are you there? He probably, sometimes this app has a glitch where you come in the box and you can't hear anything. You got to go down and come back in, or relaunch the app, I should say. Good morning, Val. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, I can hear again.
All righty then. Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing great, Zeus. How's everything in the kingdom? Looks sunny out there.
Yeah.
Looks sunny out there.
Thank you.
I was going to come in with something different, but something happened in your show earlier today that kind of caught my attention. And working towards freedom, WTF fits. Those initials fit.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. I like what you did.
What I want to talk about is, hey guys, on our own side, we've got to learn to fight together ourselves. Because when people talk about separation between all the people in this country, people need to remember we cannot come together with fascist ideas. It just can't happen. There's no doing that. And for people like working towards the freedom out there, please understand it's the Democratic Party right now that's working towards democracy, trying to help us. None of us are ever going to get everything we want personally. Okay, but we need to work together to make sure everybody gets what they need to live.
Right.
Okay, so please, people, quit. You know what I'm saying? Quit with those kind of talking points. It just doesn't work, and it does more damage than good. And I wanted to say to all the MAGA demons down there, y'all know who you are. I don't need to call you out by name. But you know what I'm saying? To all of you down there, I want you to remember something. Not only can Donald Trump not win a case in this country, he can't win a case in any damn country right now.
Bingo.
Okay?
Bingo.
That man just got hit. That man just got hit for $400K in England. Oh, for one of y'all's favorite subjects, the Steele dossier. Russia. Oh, and he had to pay Christopher Steele's attorneys because he was trying to sue him for defamation. He said, nope, everything in there was true. So now you have to pay his attorney's fees. Have fun.
Yeah.
So quit with the Steele dossier, people. Y'all are losing it every turn. Tell me when winning's going to start for y'all. Oh, I know when y'all finally decide to wake up and kick Trump to a curb.
What do you think it'll take for them to actually wake up? I mean, for instance, right, this E. Jean Carroll, isn't it crazy that initially he had to pay $5 million instead of zipping his mouth? He kept going. Now he had to pay this $92.6 million, right? And he still won't shut his mouth. And he says, I mean, what will it take for his supporters to actually wake up? Because you would have thought at this point they would have said, all right, I'm tired of him sending me emails, asking for money. I can't.
Well, I mean, when they decide to get smart enough to follow the money, right? How do you pay this money to get this continued? Oh, hold on, let me think about that a minute. Oh yeah, from Russia. Y'all people need to wake up. But you can't help everybody, Zeus. They all have their own, you know what I'm saying? They all have their own way of thinking. You have somebody down there just wrote, one of your MAGA demons just wrote down there a while back, oh, we're never going away. No, you're right. We don't think you're going away. We think you're just going to die off.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna end up losing just like the South lost, during the Civil War, right? We know where you're at, all right, but you won't be around any levers of power for a while. All right. And we might have to actually pass a new law. No MAGA allowed to run for president.
Oh, that could be a possibility. Never know.
Yeah. Modify the 14th Amendment, Section 3 to include MAGA, right?
Right. There you go. I like it. But hey, thank you, Zeus. Thank you for letting me up. Kingdom, everybody keep up with the good fight down there. And MAGA. Man, go get an education, guys. Come on.
Please. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Val. No lies detected. Yeah. We definitely, once Biden gets the victory lap done and the House turns blue again, we definitely need to look into passing legislation that amends the 14th Amendment to include MAGA. Because you don't deserve to be next to any levers of power. The way Donald Trump is colluding with Russia right now to this day is disgusting and disturbing. He shouldn't even be allowed to be on the ballot. He really shouldn't. And anybody that goes and casts their vote for Donald Trump, you are officially, well, you already were, but it just proves that you're traitors. So don't come to me. I voted for Trump, but I'm not a traitor. No, you're a traitor because you don't care about this country. You really don't. And I got the proof. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's try. Who do we have next? Oh my goodness. Slick as Rick, good morning. No, I'm not spreading anything but truth.
Morning, Zeus.
All right, good morning. Finally got you, brother.
Yeah, man, they didn't want me to say what I was finna say.
Oh.
So guess what? Guess what I've come to realize?
What's that?
If Donald Trump loses and he fades off and goes to jail, You have over 1,000 January 6th people that will be in prison / will be serving time.
Correct.
So by my calculations, you have a little over 2.5 years of material just on January 6th.
Yep.
Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right.
Okay. So with that being said, you MAGA demons, Zeus doesn't have to change up. He doesn't have to switch. He has enough material from the day that the first person went to trial,
right,
up until now, he has enough material just on January 6th.
I do.
To have his show.
Exactly.
So Zeus isn't going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. I mean, I just want you guys to know that, you know, the guys that are out there hating on Zeus, he's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. Tell him
and
you didn't scare them now.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, just do the math. If they do one a day, if they just do one a day, that's about 2 years and 8 months worth of material.
Oh.
If they do 2 a day, it's still 2 years of material.
Yeah.
So just
daily
just
updates.
let it go.
Daily updates of Trump from prison, right? There'll be prison confessionals, right?
Exactly. Daily updates. And that I mean, that's what you're giving us now. And, again, we're not even a year in after they started the trials. We're not even a year in. I think we're maybe 6 months to 8 months in.
Yeah.
After the first person went up and got, time. Especially the 22 years for sedition. And I think it's a lot more of those to come. I think they're doing the most difficult ones last. The ones that they could prove without a shadow of a doubt that these guys were involved, they're already in prison, right? They're already serving time and or on the docket, ready to go to prison. There's no way around it. So there's no way. So just for you Trumpers who think that once Donald Trump either I'm gonna say it wins or goes to jail. And you think that there's nothing else?
This ain't BS, Ray. This is true. This is true.
Yeah, that there's nothing else to report, and everybody with the Donald Trump syndrome is going to be sorely missed. No, we're not going to miss him. He's still gonna his news is going to radiate for years to come.
Tell him.
So understand that we have a lot of material.
Yep.
And as far as Jack Smith and the other attorneys, Fonnie Willis, and they already got all they need. From Republicans. From Republicans.
It's over, Ray.
From Republicans.
Bingo.
It's a wrap. There's no coming back.
It's a wrap.
There's no coming back. Yeah, it's a wrap. So I heard my bell, Zeus.
All right.
I appreciate you. Let me get in there for the third time, 3 times. Is what it is, right? It's the charm.
Third time's the charm. Absolutely.
I appreciate you letting me get in. Have a good day in the kingdom.
All right.
Keep the material up.
All right, will do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Stick the Ruler. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, this is what we're doing is we're telling the truth and we're shaming the devil daily, all right? I mean, let's see what we got here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. We're telling the truth and shaming the devil daily, all right? Now, Ray, I sent you an invite, Ray. You're in my comment section and you're spamming it and you're saying BS. Won't you come up in the box, Ray, and share with us what exactly is BS? Thank you, Straight Facts. Cause Ray, I don't want to skip an opportunity to learn something from you, Ray. But if you're just gonna sit in the chat and keep writing BS. I'm going to consider you to be engaging in some very dangerous conduct on my platform. And I don't want to go that route with you, Ray. So, Ray, accept the invitation and get in the box and air out your grievances with Zeus. All right, because I run a very tight operation. No lies are allowed in the kingdom. Anyone seen Ray? Ever since I sent him that invite, Ray. I guess Ray has nothing else left to say today. So, ladies and gentlemen, let that be an example. You see what happens when the MAGA demon is summoned into the kingdom to speak? They get scared. They tremble. All right? Terrified. Oh, my God. I sent them an offer. Listen, you all know me. I'm the fairest host on the app, right? I will go there with MAGA sometimes, all right? If I'm in the mood, all right? So he can't get in my kingdom and say that I am lying, all right? Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go. Poetivity, what's going on? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm
Hey.
good. I'm
All
good.
right.
How are you?
I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, all right, tending to the affairs.
Well, it's fun to listen to you. You always do a great job.
I try. I really try, but thank you. All right, I really do.
I wanted to come up because when the Republicans impeached Clinton for getting BJ in the Oval.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Getting a little Monica. That's what he was doing. Getting a little Monica.
Yeah. She's still a beautiful woman, by the way. But they said that the reason that they had to impeach him because he was a national security threat. And the reason that he was a national security threat for doing that is because he all of a sudden had a woman who had compromising information on him and could manipulate the president of the United States to do whatever she wanted in order to keep the secret. So that's a national security threat way back then.
Yeah.
Now they are trying to promote Donald Trump, who owes almost $500 million in legal fees. That seems like a compromising thing.
He's totally compromised.
He's totally compromised. And we know he has a 12-year-old, or a woman who was once 12, who says that he raped her when she was 12 years old. We know that he hung out with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years. We know that he knew what Jeffrey Epstein did for a living. We know that he's had multiple dishonest business deals with people all over the world, likely. We know that he's had 3 wives, a bunch of kids. There's a rumor that there's a maid at his hotel that also has one of his children.
Wow.
There's all this compromising information on this man. He is a national security risk, even if he wasn't the most dishonest president that we ever had in the 4 years when we did see him.
Right.
And it's kind of like, what are Republicans doing to this country? Do they hate it so much that they just want to tear it down? And you want to figure, why would Republicans want to do that to our country?
Right.
Well, trickle-down economics has made our country not work for most of us for the past 50 years. And right now, the youngest generation, the generation that's just graduating high school, just getting the right to vote, it's worked the least for them. Not only did they not have any parents available to them because both parents had to work and some parents had to work 2 jobs, they also have, if they want to advance their life, they have to go into
Yeah.
They can't afford housing. They can't afford a car even, because cars are almost $100,000 now.
Yeah.
And things are crazy. So why wouldn't they want to burn down the United States? And they know, I think, that electing Donald Trump would burn down the United States, burn down the system of government that has failed us all.
Wow.
So my point is, it's time to tax the rich. It's time to stop letting them direct all policies towards themselves. And it's time to rebalance with our vote before we absolutely have no freedoms. We can't speak out against our leaders. We can't do do anything without being imprisoned or maybe even unalived, because Trump admires Putin, who does that.
Bingo.
So anyway,
all right,
that's my point.
All right, well, listen, Poetivity, I thank you so much. All right, I appreciate you having the courage and conviction to be able to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. All right.
Well, thanks for having me on.
All right, and don't be a stranger and come on back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move it along. We're approaching the time in the show where Zeus might need to get up out of here. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got? All right, Takesha, how are we doing this morning? How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm all right. Just another day, enjoying the fact that we got the main account back. You know how that goes.
Listen,
Rich, talk to me.
Listen. Donald Trump saying if he get back in, he gonna pardon the Jan 6ers. It's just like me laying here naked and my boyfriend saying, when you get naked, I'm gonna give you some. He is not gonna pardon those people. He want those people, family and friends, to vote for him. So he's lying, saying he's gonna get them out when he become president. Because you had plenty of time to pardon those people before you walk your stinking self out of that White House because your job was over. You were still on the clock when they went, and you could have got them out then. You're lying. Because you want those people, friends and family votes. And if they fall for the okie doke like that, then they got to be the dumbest people in the world.
No lies detected.
Now, come on, Zeus.
Yeah.
Didn't he have plenty of time to pardon them people?
He sure did.
Why he ain't do it then?
Because he don't care about them.
He ain't finna do it if he get his ugly leaking cheek self in this time.
Ray, do you hear us, Ray? Ray, are you there? Listen up to Takesha. She's telling you something you may not have known. Oh, Claus. Oh, go for it.
I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
I have never seen so many ignorant people in all of my existence on this earth. I know we had a few, but common sense has.
It ain't so common with these folks, right?
Zeus, it has been not common for ever since Trump brought his ugly. Oh Lord, how much?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get it out. But take your time, because we don't need to get low like them. Some of us do.
Up at night like he done put the Sandman in jail. Making tweets all night while he waiting on that toupee to dry and somebody to come in there and change their little diaper when he should be asleep. Anybody that can't sleep at night is because they full of evil and they don't have no peace. He don't have no peace.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Ain't no rest for the wicked. They keep talking about he a man of God, but if they go read the characteristics of the Antichrist, they'll know what category he fall in. I'm telling you, they need to get it together. They need to go back to the Lord, ask for forgiveness for putting an idol above him, ask him to tear down them strongholds that Trump have over their mind, and they might can do a little better.
Let's go, hallelujah.
I'm sick of them.
Yeah, no. But I mean, we gonna get it right though, because they ain't gonna have no excuse when they wake up and lift up their eyes in hell, right?
Ooh, what you said? like the man told him, just let me go back and warn my brothers. What Jesus? What the Lord said? They got folks to tell them. They gotta listen.
Yeah.
So if they don't listen, they just made their bed in hell, and they gonna be burning. Burning and burning.
Tell them, Takesha.
Nah, they need to get it together, Zeus, and stop worshiping that man that put his drawers on. They might not be clean, but he put them on the same way they put theirs on every day.
Amen. Or a diaper, right?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say, because he keeps telling me that if he get in, he gonna pardon them. No, you're not. Because you could have did it before you got out. Stop your lies.
Yep. And you ain't got they don't got enough money to pay for a pardon, remember?
Listen, he care about them people as much as Melania care about him. We already know that ain't even 0%.
Tell him, Takesha, he don't care about you, MAGA.
He don't care about nobody but Donald Trump. All right, Zeus, I'm finna go. I just got upset. I'm tired of him telling them folks that lie.
Yeah,
When you had the ability to do it before you left office, you're not gonna pardon those people.
Nope.
Stop lying.
Tell them.
Oh, and this the last thing I read. That they trying to say in the report that Joe Biden couldn't remember the date that his son passed. My mom passed when I was 16 years old.
Right.
I could not tell you what day it was. And honestly, Zeus, I can't remember the date. My brother can, but I can't. Not remembering somebody's death date is not a crime.
Nope.
Not everybody holds that. You be grieving.
It's trauma.
It's trauma. That man has gone through a lot of trauma. It's a lot of things he probably pushed out of his mind because he didn't want to remember. Just because your daddy don't care nothing about you and you don't care nothing about your children doesn't mean that's the way everybody else feels. You got some parents that love their children. You got some children that love their parents. And just because the Republicans haven't experienced true love, it doesn't mean anybody else has not. Y'all don't know what true love is.
No lies detected.
That's why Trump fooling y'all, because y'all really don't know what love is. But I'm going to get off my rant. Let me go, Zeus.
All right. Well, listen, Takesha, thank you so much, all right, for bringing it home like that. All right, you're always so good at telling the truth and shaming the devil. No lies detected. All right. Oh, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are now heading into overtime. All right, good morning, and the beautiful...
Are we in overtime? Okay.
Oh, yes. How are we doing this lovely, bright and early morning?
I'm doing okay, and just amen to everything Takesha says.
Absolutely.
She really covers a lot of it. I just want to talk a little bit about Marjorie Trader Green and her politicizing the unaliving of Lake and Riley.
Let's go.
Okay. So here's my thing with that. She goes down there, State of the Union address, making a damn fool of herself.
Right.
Wearing that baseball cap with Trump 2024 and everything. They don't want to mention that these things happened under the Trump administration, too.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, we're just going to politicize the death, unaliving of this young woman. But the same exact thing literally happened to a young girl named Molly Tibbetts. She was a student at the University of Iowa. She went out for a jog, and she sadly was unalived by an undocumented immigrant.
Wow.
So that happens there. Okay. Yeah. And Marjorie Trader Green, she doesn't also want to acknowledge the fact that we lose 5,000 women a year due to domestic violence, mostly by pew-pews. We all know how the Republican Party feels about their pew-pews. They don't want to let those go. They want to talk about these young women that we unfortunately have lost at the hands of undocumented immigrants.
Wow.
But there are women all over this country that are losing their lives to their partners.
Wow.
At the hands of their partners, usually by pew-pews.
Wow.
So I don't mean to bring the show down, but that's
No. Get the truth out there. Absolutely. It's also Women's History Month, right? Let's keep on going.
That's right. It's ticking me off because domestic violence is something probably most of us women have been through. It's been 26 years for me, Zeus, and I still have some physical and emotional scars from it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear her fake outrage. It's fake outrage. That's all it was. She's standing there wearing that shirt, say her name, right? She didn't, with a smile on her face,
Yeah.
And where was her say her name when Breonna Taylor was unalived? Where the hell was her say her name t-shirt when she was unalived unjustly by law enforcement who was supposed to protect that young woman? You don't hear her say anything about that. And I wonder why. I can't even imagine why. That's rhetorical because I think we all friggin' know why she didn't give a crap about Breonna Taylor. Say her name. Where was her t-shirt when that happened? They don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk sadly. And I'm not trying to take away from the tragic death of Lake and Riley, but don't stand down there with a smile on your face wearing that t-shirt and act like you actually give a freaking crap.
Yeah.
You care. And that disgusts me because of all the women that have been unalived across this country.
Yeah.
Due to mostly pew-pew violence when they try to leave an abusive partner. But all of a sudden, we're going to focus on one person because she was unalived by an undocumented immigrant.
Oops. Wow. Good message. Thank you, Ann.
All right, that's all I got. I had to get
Were
that
you
off my
done?
chest.
No, please. Don't let the bell continue. Please get the truth out there.
I got it out there, Zeus. I got it out. I'm a little tired. We were dealing with MAGA demons bright and early this morning. We got to get out there. We got to start the message bright and early. Me and Tiff were out there taking the MAGA demons down.
Good.
If you're still in here, Tiff, great job. So yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for having me up as always.
You're totally welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Ange, all right? No lies detected, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, it is now time for, oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness, I gotta hear from you, Shay. Oh, good morning, Shay.
Hey.
How are you doing? Good morning, Shay. Welcome to the...
How's everybody?
We're doing okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, great show as usual. I love that we have our MAGA trolls in here on the daily. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Retribution, Democrat Destroyer.
Oh, they're here. They're here.
So that Uncle Tom dude, he used to go by T-Man, right? So I guess he got muted and he came in on his backup. But that guy used to be a huge Trump supporter.
Oh,
So
really?
Yeah, when you pulled him up yesterday, he said he's not voting for Trump.
Do you believe him?
No, not necessarily, but I do find it fascinating because I used to watch his lives. You know, I've debated with him before, and and so I'm like, okay, so you're not voting for Trump anymore. I'd love to know why. Uncle Tom.
Uncle.
Uncle Tom. You know, these guys that come in with their racist names, like Little White Privilege.
Yep.
You know, and then, you know, of course, he got called on the carpet on that one, so he changed it to Pretzel or Prizzle or whatever.
Okay.
And now we got T-Man calling himself Uncle Tom. I mean, you guys are not, you know, you're just outright. Just here I am. I'm letting my racist flag fly. You know.
Yeah.
Here we are. You know, and it's ridiculous. But I was listening to Hur's Robert Hur's testimony, and he's just getting destroyed by the Democrats.
Wow, it's still going on, right? I gotta watch it right after the show.
Yeah, no, it's still going on. And listen, he came in and he said, "Listen, I stand by what I said about the fact that, you know, he did not do what Trump did. He did not, you know, go around and say, you know, committed obstruction of justice." And you played Butler's interview, you know, and you talked about Butler's interview, you know, there's no, I don't think we've seen any planes being loaded under when Biden was vice president, right? When he was taking all the documents. I don't remember that. Hur said it was absolutely, it wasn't the reason that he was supposedly a senile old man. It's the fact that he didn't do what the former president did. It's clear in what he did and how he did it. He was highly cooperative, and the biggest thing they've discovered, he lied about the fact that Biden didn't know the date of Beau Biden's death.
Oh, so he's a liar too.
Yes, he is a liar. The transcripts were released right before this hearing, and in there Biden clearly says it was May 30th.
Wow. Yeah. See, I haven't even seen it, but I'm not surprised because I understood it was a MAGA demon hit job.
Yes, and I think he was waffling on somebody kind of said was 2015, right? And he's like, yeah, it was 2015. The only thing he waffled on is when he left office and he was like, well, that was 20, and that was it. It wasn't really even a waffle on anything,
right,
you know?
Right.
It's like keeping track of everything. Yeah. It's not a big deal. So Robert Hur completely lied about that. He did, of course, know the date of Beau Biden's death. Because he goes to the cemetery every May 30th, and he works with the Delaware National Guard, which is what
silence clause. You're a liar.
Oh yeah, no, he did know the dates. The transcript's been released clause. Go look at it.
Go look it up, clause. You aren't that intelligent. Where did you go to school at? Trump University? Sheesh.
Yeah, and they literally just released the transcript. The other thing that he said the transcript was released, is that Robert Hur praised the President Biden for his photographic memory during his testimony. That's also in the transcript.
Bingo.
So it make sense. You know, he had to cover his butt because he knew he was not going to indict President Biden, but he knew the Republicans were going to be angry. So he had to throw something in there, and that's all he had. And then now that has been completely debunked in the actual transcripts themselves.
Thank you, Shay.
Just wanted to point that out. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Shay.
That's it. And tomorrow I'll touch on. There's something really more interesting about the Lake and Riley thing that I thought was fascinating.
Oh, really?
In 2 seconds, I thought this was an interesting discovery.
Yeah.
So what happened is that Lake and Riley's unaliver was Venezuelan who entered into the U.S. in 2022 under Trump's executive order.
Remember?
In 2021, he was bused from Texas to New York by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Then he relocated to where he unalived Laken.
Yep.
So he was brought into the country under Trump's executive order. Okay. And the executive order was Trump is using the little known deferred enforced departure program, or DED, to offer temporary legal status to Venezuelans fleeing humanitarian crisis by Nicolas Maduro's regime. DED, similar to temporary protected status, protects recipients from deportation and allows them to get work permits. So yes, he was brought in under Trump's EO. So this isn't about the open border, guys. This is about helping the Venezuelans. He happened to be a bad guy that ended up getting the help, but that's what happened because the Trump regime, or sorry,
the Trump crime family,
the Trump administration was involved in trying to overturn Maduro, right?
Yep.
So they led to a huge crisis into Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
And that is why the Venezuelans were granted and are still being granted work visas into this country, because the United States is responsible for creating the economic collapse and chaos in Venezuela.
Bingo.
So that's what's going on. So you guys run around here going Lake and Riley. You really are. You're showing your ridiculousness, your ignorance, 100%.
Exactly.
It's not about he didn't flood in through an open border. He was literally given a pass into the United States under Trump's EO.
Bingo.
And then Greg Abbott shipped him out.
Bingo.
No.
Well,
there
listen.
You go.
There you go. Another one bites the dust. All right, Shay. And once again, thank you for telling the truth and shame the devil. No wonder they've been hiding it from us. It's over, MAGA. It really is.
It's over, MAGA. You guys are going down, man. This is woo. Oh, yeah. Come on. Laura Trump is now the RNC's co-chair.
Yep.
And what did she? And you know they fired over 60 people within the RNC now.
They're calling that a bloodbath, is what I've heard.
They're calling it a bloodbath. They're also saying if you're not loyal to Trump, you're out, right?
Yeah.
So this money, she's already been very clear that any of the money that the RNC raises is going to go help Trump in his legal fees. So I think one of your people in here commented, like, how are they going to help the down ballot races? It's going to be a sweep, guys. It's going to be a freaking sweep. Just watch. It's going to be really interesting. So the Republican Party is done. It is done. Yeah. Well, so that's going to be interesting to watch. Okay, I'm going to go. I know I'm on here way too long. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Shay.
Love you guys.
All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, we have reached that moment in the show where Zeus must depart and go and tend to the affairs. I need to check in on this Robert Hur thing. I need to know what's going on. But before I do, ladies and gentlemen, there's a knucklehead in the comments section that wants to speak to Zeus, and I'm just curious about what's so urgent, what's so pressing. Claus, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. Are you in control of yourself right now? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, because the reason
Are
I
you?
ask, yeah, see, there you go again. There you go
I'm just
again.
asking, just making
There
sure.
you go again, because I haven't ran into a MAGA who can control the MAGA demon in them. And so normally when we start having these conversations, things tend to, devolve into some nasty nonsense. I'm just not in the mood this morning for that. All right. So you promise you got that MAGA demon under control, correct?
There is no MAGA demon that needs to be under control. But yes, I will be calm. I'm not irrational. So
Okay, all right. So let's talk. What exactly is the grievance that you have with those of us today who've gotten on and spoken out? What exactly is the issue?
so first, let me ask a preface question. What are your thoughts on Jesse Jackson?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what we're talking about.
Just overall. Is he good, bad, impartial?
I don't know him.
You don't know who Jesse Jackson is?
I know of him. I don't know him. But let me do the thing. Let me ask you some questions, all right? This is how I test whether people are being truthful with me, all right? And it's pretty basic questions, but I'm going to ask them. The first question is, do you think the 2020 election was rigged?
Yes.
See? Why do you lie? See, so now I know you're a liar.
How am I a liar? By having an opinion.
No, because I didn't ask you for your opinion.
Yes, you did. You said.
I said, do you
believe the 2020 election was stolen?
Yeah, so that means based on the research and the information you've came across, right? And you seem like you know how to read, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I know how to watch videos too, and I know how to see what my eyes are seeing and see how certain stuff doesn't add up. And
maybe then I'll give you another shot. Who would you say is responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th?
Who is responsible? I don't think that there's a single person that's responsible. I don't think you can lay blame on one single person.
But you said you have eyes and you can see. You
Yep.
have ears and you can hear.
Correct.
You have all your senses, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to ask again, sir. Who is responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th? If you put all the stuff you came across, all the information you've ran across, and you had to put money on it, who would you say it was?
Again, I don't think I don't think I can pinpoint it to one single individual. I think it was a movement that initiated on social media, and it came to a head on January 6th.
And okay, let's go down that path real quickly because I got to get up out of here. Who started the movement?
I think it was the Proud Boys.
And who did the Proud Boys coordinate with?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so let me bring something to your attention, all right? And you tell me how should one process this?
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
Okay, all right. And so who was that?
Donald Trump.
Okay. Do you know where he made that statement at?
Yeah, it was in D.C.
And what was the event that he was at?
I forget the name of it.
Oh, have you heard of the Stop the Steal rally? Have you heard?
Oh
of
yeah.
That? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Have you heard?
No. I'm still kind of trying to get you to confess the truth, all right? Because you're lying. So you admit that that's Donald Trump. You admit that that was what he said on January 6th, and there were people in the background cheering him on in the background. Those were what? Trump supporters?
Yeah, but why don't you play the whole entire audio clip?
Oh, see.
Why don't you play everything that Trump said that day, where he talked about peacefully making our voices heard, talking about being nice to police, on Twitter, talking about protests.
Okay, and the
Why
reason
don't
let me explain why, because I don't got all day to play the rest of that. That's a long speech he gave, right? But
convenient?
based on the facts and the information that you've just heard today in this show on my platform, you have an overwhelming amount of evidence to conclude that Donald Trump was at the Stop the Steal rally that day on January 6th, talking to his supporters and encouraging them to engage in acts, all right? One of those acts was to go to the Capitol.
Correct.
That was what he instructed his soldiers to do. Soldiers include Proud Boys.
I mean, show me where Trump says soldiers. First of all,
well,
second
he did
of
say
all,
he said Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. Okay, so why are we beating?
Wasn't that?
No. Listen, I got to get up out of here. Claus, you asked me to come in the box, and the situation that I'm dealing with you is you just can't even be honest about the facts.
You can't admit that there's additional footage that's out there. You conveniently leave the additional footage that backs up, the opposing side arguments. You leave that footage out. And I highly doubt that it's an accident on your end that you leave that footage out.
No.
Yes, it is.
I've seen it with my own eyes, Claus.
Then why don't we play it?
Everyone in this platform, everyone in this show, we've all saw what happened on January 6th.
Then why don't we play
we
it?
all read the indictment. Have you read the indictment?
Which one?
Any of them?
Yes.
Okay, so you read the one that Jack Smith wrote. You read the one that Fonnie Willis wrote, right? Her team. So when you combine that, and we got the video and the audio, you take your personal experience into account. There's just no way you can logically conclude that Nancy Pelosi was the one that was responsible for January 6th, right?
Never said she was.
I know, but there's people that do believe it was her, right?
Well, there's people that think the earth are flat. Are you going to wrap me in with them too? Am I going to wrap you in with
I haven't gotten
those
there.
people?
I haven't gotten there, but Claus, I'm going to say this. The fact that you refuse to tell the truth still 4 years later is definitely a cause for concern. And I'm going to ask that you get professional help. All right?
You're being disingenuous. And you're glossing over.
Oh, I'm being
you're saying that I'm not telling the truth, but
you're not.
What haven't I been truthful about?
Say Donald. Say right here, right now. Say Donald Trump is responsible for January 6th. Just say it.
That is an opinion of
No. That's based on the facts.
Is he guilty? Is he guilty?
You know what, Claus? I gotta go, Claus, because I got other things to do.
Conveniently, whenever I bring up facts, I get booted off, or you say you have to go for some made up.
Okay, I'll answer your question. Yes, he is guilty. Any more questions?
You're lying. You want to talk about being untruthful? Trump has not been found guilty of that crime. So you, my friend, just lied.
All right. Anything else? Because I've got this to say. How many felony charges is he currently dealing with?
90-something.
91.
Charges.
All right.
Show me guilty.
And what's the conviction rate of Jack Smith? So do the math, Claude. Do the math.
That's irrelevant. Look at the
Claus, you're in denial, and you need to get professional help, champ. All right. I'm not gonna let you. I don't got time to educate you and school you. All right. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you.
I would do the same thing.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye, Claude.
Struggle pancakes, struggle honey buns, struggle in the way. Yeah, he's a struggler.
Claus, you are a liar, and you came into the box and proved it. So thank you for doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the MAGA demon is still running rampant out here on TikTok. All right, these folks will sit out here and you play them the evidence, you share the information, and they will still lie to you. Claus, you really do need to get professional help, champ, and really stop hanging out with these fake TikTok hosts and these fake TikTok lawyers that got you believing that somehow everyone is responsible for what happened on January 6th except for Donald Trump. All right? And you still believe the 2020 election was rigged while Biden is sitting in the White House. Something's really wrong with your mind, Claus. And the amount of training and help that you need, I can't give it to you in one setting. We're well past that, my 1 hour, my 2 hour time slot, all right? And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the plane has officially landed. You all deserve a round of applause. Thank you, all of you who tuned in, all right? Especially to my panelists, all right? To the gifters, to the subscribers, and to the moderators. You all did an excellent job. Jesus Christ. All right, thank you, all right? To the Zeus haters, to the critics and the detractors, those who continue to spread lies and dwell in misinformation as opposed to truth. Let's give them what they deserve. Our final round of boos and shame. All right, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do, all right?
Most handsome in the kingdom.
And I really am the most handsome. Thank you. Incognito. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus.
Hey, let's go, let's go. Tiffany for the people, Rixie. Yes, Don, thank you, Heaven. You still got folks out here who believe Donald Trump and his lies. What a nasty situation, ladies and gentlemen. These folks are crazy. They're deranged. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear Claus right now. You can hear him. Thank you, Ian. You hear Claus? He's screaming, help me. Tony, Tom. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a true Venus. Thank you. Mount Negro, thank you. Reggie, DJ Kitty Cat. Yes. Alright. Dark Warrior, Slick and Slick. Mrs. Smith, let's go.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus.
Hey. I like that. The MAGA demon. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you two and keep up the great work. Pose and let's go. Bring me up, Zeus. This is what they say. Bring me up, Zeus. I want to challenge you. And then they get in the box and they just start lying. Paul, you need to step your game up, champ. All right, I've heard all those lies before. As you can tell, I'm not impressed. Cut it out, conservative Democrat. You're a liar. Have a blessed day. Yes, you too. Who is that? Guru, whatever. Teresa, thank you. Tiffany, thank you for the roses. All my neighbors hear this broadcast. Oh, Queen Fleet, thank you. Vegas girl, so sorry I didn't get to you. All right, come tomorrow, please. Hey, let's go. Oh, yes. Yes, I'm back. Yes. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
I just want to buy
Garvine, thank you.
11,780.
Right.
One more than we have.
Right. See, Claus, that right there is why he's been indicted. All right? Listen to what I'm telling you and don't let your thoughts try to convince you otherwise, all right? Reggie, hit him with the remix.
He's deranged. He's deranged. He's deranged.
Yeah.
He's deranged. He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged.
Hey.
Jack Smith.
Hey.
Donald Trump is indicted.
Did they take? one charge and they turned it into 36 charges. Wow!
And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
Exactly. All right. Wait a second. We have a knucklehead out there, ladies and gentlemen. F Black Guru Bean Pies. There he is with 44 followers. All right, listen up. I'm going to do this one just for you. All right, since you love Donald Trump's dirty, you know what? Remember when he promised you he was going to keep winning?
We're going to win
Remember
so
this?
much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy.
Oh.
We're going to win with military. We're going to win with healthcare and for our veterans. We're going to win with
Remember
every
this?
single facet.
Yeah.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please,
Claus.
it's too much winning.
Thank you,
we
Val.
can't take it anymore.
Claus.
Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
Claus, remember this? Oh my gosh, y'all remember when he promised you? Then you know what happened right after the election and Biden won? He came out and told you this stuff.
It's such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight.
Where's the
And then
energy?
you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh. Because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory.
Right. You don't hear him talking about all that winning. He's crying. Listen to his voice. You can hear the tears coming out, right? Listen.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Did you see what he did? He told you he was going to win and he came out crying. Y'all are something else. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out of here. All right, but before I do, you know what we got to do. It is time to drop the bomb.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
You heard him? You ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern day slave.